Hi, welcome back to Brown Coat Homestead. Um, Today we're going to be doing a little cooking video, one of my first videos put out. I learned this recipe somewhat through a few channels and took it and modified it a little bit to my own with different seasonings and like that. But I'm going to be making crackers. I love crackers, and the idea of not buying them is just, ooh, give me chills. Um, I like that idea, and I have made some and enjoyed it a lot. So let's hope you enjoy this video and subscribe. And if you're new, and if you aren't, and you've been with me for a while, thank you. Thank you so much for staying. And let's get started.
All right, let's get started. As you can see in the bowl, I've got the flour in there already. That is 1.5 to 2 cups of flour. Just depends on how much you want. I usually start off with about 1.5, and now we've got the olive oil. If you want, you can add in the seasoning before that. Um, but with the olive oil, it's 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and the seasoning you add to that is 1 teaspoon of salt, and I should have that coming up in a moment. I like the pink Himalayan salt. Um, it's great um, for this. Yeah, work on mixing it up and adding in water. Um, Sometimes you can put in the seasoning before you add in the liquid. Sometimes you can do it after. It just depends on your preference. Sometimes I do it before. Sometimes I do it after. This time I did it after. I think I was just forgetful a little bit. That can happen some days. And I had to add in a little bit more flour. I have some set aside. You never know what it's gonna be like until you do it. You want to have it nice but not too sticky. Um, Good dough consistency. And the joy of making crackers myself versus buying them in the store, then you can have seasoning. And here we are, is the salt, and it's about a tablespoon. I just guesstimate. I shake it in to what I like. Um, and then the next one should be sugar, and that's about the same. I'm just gonna guesstimate, pour a little bit in of this stevia of the baking sugar. And then I like adding in seasoning to it. I learned about the recipe just plain, but I like a little bit of flavor. Nothing wrong with plain crackers. Here's some garlic herb seasoning that I found in a nice disposable grinder. Uh, Works great for a lot of different things. Um, I also love garlic, and I'm going to add some of that I've got some granulated garlic at the moment, but eventually I hope to grow my own and dehydrate it and powder it. And here we are. And then just work that in all through the dough as much as possible. Mix it around. Make sure it feels good to your hands. It's got a good consistency that's all meshed in together. And sometimes you have to add in a little bit here and there. Put in a spoonful or so just to get the dough not too sticky while you're getting it prepared. And then I separate the ball into two smaller ones, because I put this on 2 cookie sheets. Gives myself a nice thin consistency. And then you sprinkle a little bit of flour down that on there, and also in a few minutes you're going to see the oh, here we are, the rolling pin and the roller. But I'm going to do it here for now, and then I'm going to put it onto a piece of aluminum foil once I get it out to a certain point. I like to just make it easy, spread it out the larger piece, thin it out a little bit. You want to have it a nice thin. You could use this type of rolling pin, or some people have, and I like also, will hope to get eventually, is one of the ones with the rings on the end. Then you know how thick it is. It's a good one. A friend of mine's got one like that. I think my sister does. So just get it all rolled out, and then here we are, the aluminum foil. Just lift it up gently, and you want to have some flour on the aluminum foil. I'm going to be putting some on in a moment. You want to have a little bit of a barrier between the foil and the dough. And here we go. Spoonful of flour, spread that out over it. Doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to have so it doesn't stick too easily. Then roll it out. Get it all spread out over that aluminum foil. And this one I made to about a little bit bigger than the size of the pan, so I can fold it over a little bit and grip it on. And I believe the next thing I'm going to be doing is add, okay, well, still haven't finished rolling, sorry. But soon I'm going to be doing is adding a little bit of moisture, some water. You can add water, you can add a little bit of water and oil, but as you can see, sometimes you get some bumps in there, so I like this roller. It makes it easy. Rolling pin will work, but sometimes a small little hand roller can get out the divots easier. And here we are with the water. Just tap it on lightly, just to get a little bit of moisture in there. And one thing I also like is I've got oh yeah, don't forget, do a test cut just to see how it's coming. If it doesn't work, and sunflower seeds, evidently it did work. I've found some sunflower seeds and I like adding them to it. I did it once, it came out nicely. And as you'll see at the end, these do fairly well. Sometimes don't want to clump them too much together. I did a little bit, as you can see here. Um, and you will at the end, because sometimes it is good. And here we go. And you want to use that roller to flatten the sunflower seeds into the dough so they don't move off while you're baking it. You want to have it nice and pushed into the dough. And once that's done, we're going to be cutting it. And I've got a little sandwich spreader that I use. I like it, cuts fine. You can use a regular knife. You can use a pizza cutter. I've done that before. But I think this works a little bit better. If you've got nuts in it, if you hit it, it could cause the dough to drag a little bit. And I'm just going back over, getting some of the spots again, and finishing up the long cut. And then I'm going to go back over in a moment, once I've got the cut one way. Then I'm going to cut it the other direction to make the cracker size. And you want to have, I forgot to mention again, that for cooking these, you want to have your oven preheated to 450 degrees. And it's going to cook for about 10 minutes. And then take a look at it, and usually 2 minutes longer after that. Sometimes if you're doing 2 pans like me, I have them on 2 different shelves, so I will rotate them and maybe put one on the top, one on the bottom, depending on how they look. Sometimes they're done in 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. If they start to look like they're burning, you pull them out, obviously. You don't want to burn your crackers at all if possible, but just judge it by what you think and what they look like. You can touch them to see if they're hard. Obviously, that's a good indication. If they're still a little soft, get them up off the heat a little bit. So if you take out one, put the other one on the top. And I've done two pans, and now they went in the oven, and here we are with the finished product. And as you can see, it's a couple spots where they're a little burnt, where I had the sunflower seeds too close together, but they came out well. I'm going to touch, and you can see they're nice and crispy. They were very delicious. Okay, well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and please, if you enjoyed it, like the video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you're not and you've been with me for a while, thank you very much, and you have a great and blessed day.